Sometimes as a car dealer, you have to come to a realisation that the car you bought isn't in as good of a shape as you might have thought. And if you're trying to maintain a good relationship with your customers, it means laying down the dough and just getting it sorted. You see, we bought this nearly fully optioned 2019 Mercedes S-Class, thinking what a cracking car. And well, I mean it is really. Seats that you could only compare to first class on an airliner, and a ride smooth enough to send even the most anxious passenger off to La La Land. Make this one of, if not the best barges out at the minute. However, no matter how well you look after a car, 40,000 miles of busy UK roads takes its toll. Under closer inspection, we noticed swirl marks, deep scratches, and brake dust had taken over the look of this S-Class. And when you consider the price tag of this thing, well, it's just not good enough really. So, let's do something about that, shall we? My name's Tom, and you're watching Paragon Cars. Let's go. Now, of course, we can't just repaint the whole car, but we can certainly improve what's already there. And that's where these guys come in. Firstly, we need to decontaminate the car and get rid of those larger bits of dirt. So, to start, we use fallout remover on the wheels. This gets rid of all the iron oxide buildup, otherwise known as brake dust. A, it saves us getting it off mechanically, and B, it means the shampoo can do its job at removing grime later on. Next, we want to get rid of the large particles on the bodywork. So, we jet the car off, put our first layer of snow foam on, and leave it for a couple of minutes to do its thing. It's important to mention we're cleaning in the sun today, which isn't ideal, as we've got to be as fast as possible in the drying process. Once the snow foam has settled, we jet it off for a second time, and then apply our next layer of snow foam. Now it's time to use elbow grease to really remove as much of the dirt as possible. Once the whole car has been sponged, it gets washed off for the last time, except this time it's with something called deionized water. Remember when I said we were cleaning in the sun? Well, this stuff is a godsend, as it's effectively pure water with almost all the minerals removed, meaning no more watermarks. We still have to get the car dry ASAP though, as although deionized water is almost mineral free, it's not completely pure. Once dry, we move inside to start the cutting phase. Now you might be thinking we've got to clay the car first, but after the wash, there weren't enough contaminants to justify it. Claying should only really be done when absolutely necessary, as it's actually quite an abrasive process. Anyway, back to cutting. Firstly, we have to tape the car up to protect anything we don't want to compound. Then once the pad is prepped, we can begin cutting the paint. Ideally, you want to use a compound that's abrasive enough to get the job done, but not so abrasive that you remove half the clear coat. Already you can see a lot of the deeper scratches have started to fade away. However, some are just too deep to cut into. It's important to remember the paint's limits, as if you go through the clear coat, well, you're buggered. Better to lessen the scratch than have to repaint the whole section of a car. Once cutting is complete, we wipe off any residue and move on to the next phase, polishing. This will bring out the depth of the paint and allow all those little metallic flakes to shine through. This is another long process, but one that is well worth it. To put that timeline in perspective, from first wash to finishing the polishing stage took just over 8 hours. That's actually pretty quick for a car of this size. Now the car's polished, you could just leave it as is, but why do all that hard work without protecting it? To protect it, you've got two main choices really. You can either apply paint protection film or a ceramic coat. We just went with the ceramic coat, as to PPF the entire car would be pretty expensive indeed. Once applied, the ceramic coating hardens and creates a very thin barrier between the paint and harsh environments around it. There's also other benefits, such as hydrophobic properties and a candy-like gloss finish, which means the car almost turns into a mirror. The difference from start to finish needs to be seen with the naked eye to really be appreciated, but it means this S-Class is now worth its price, and should hopefully impress the clientele that end up in the back. I hope you enjoyed this little insight into part of how dealerships prep their cars. If you did, give it a like and why not subscribe? Because not only can you see more videos like this, you can see everything we have for sale. My name's Tom, and you've been watching Paragon Cars. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.